Hello guys, today I'm going to be sharing what I picked up during the Sephora VIB sale that is currently happening now. And I thought instead of just talking at you about my haul and why I bought these things, I would do a little bit of a chatty get ready with me. So we also have some first impressions. It's a little bit of everything today. I am going to also share the dates for the sale in case you don't know or if you're curious. So for Rouge members, I purchased on Friday, the first day that it started, April 26th till May 6th, 20% off, and the code is Hey Rouge. For Beauty Insiders and VIB, the dates are May 2nd through May 6th. VIB is 15% off, Insider is 10% off, and those codes are Hey VIB or Hey Insider. I also just have random items in front of me that are new to me that I've been saving for a first impression. So today we're just gonna play in some makeup. Sound good? Good. Let's get into it. So before we actually get into this, I want to mention I did pick up some skincare items, and my thought was that I would do all my makeup, take it off, and then try out these items. And I completely forgot when I need to film this and get it up because I am currently doing my 30 days of Lush. So I don't want to compromise those results. So if you want updates on these guys later, I have the Milk Makeup. This is the Cannabis Hydrating Face Mask. And then I also have a Passioni, I think is how you say it, the retinol cream from Drunk Elephant. So if you want updates on these, let me know. I am also waiting for one more item. That is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I knew it was going to run out. It always goes out of stock during these kinds of sales, but it came back the next day and I placed an order for it. I am currently waiting for it. It's supposed to arrive today, so I will be listening for the doorbell because if I can get it into this video, I will be very excited, but my luck usually does not happen that way. I got these items pretty fast though. I did pay the $15 for flash shipping for a year. I purchased these items Friday evening and then got them on Sunday, so it was 2-day shipping. I was just a little bit salty or hesitant about doing that just because as a Rouge member, and I think I've been a Rouge member for 2 years, you used to get that for free and now you have to pay for it. I had a list ready to go for what I was gonna get for this sale. I've had a screenshot saved for about a month probably. And then the day of course, I kept going back and forth, adding and removing. Polly, if you're watching, you know my struggle. I am so bad with that. So I ended up making this purchase. I did another one on Saturday for that mask. And then I also got the Charlotte Tilbury when it came back in stock. So I'm gonna start with my eyes. They are primed already. So the first thing I picked up was one of the Marc Jacobs iconic eyeshadow palettes. I've been wanting one of these for a long time. I got the one Provocouture. I also was thinking of Editorial. I just kind of went back and forth between the two. So it has this little cardboard outer protector, and then the actual palette, it's very sleek and slim looking. And then a little cover, pinks and purples. I love, first and foremost, about these palettes, I love the names. So the names of the shadows form a sentence when you're reading them downwards. So we have say it, with style, otherwise you might as well just stay in bed. Very cool. So when I was going back and forth between these palettes, I have to laugh at myself because every time I see like a pinkish purple kind of palette, I'm like, oh, you won't wear that. That's not your color. And then I look at my YouTube videos or just like my Instagram feed and everything I wear is pink. It's like I don't even know myself. So that was my deciding factor. I think some of these shades look really cool and very pretty. I'm gonna try to put as many of them on my lids as possible. This like matte brownish, it's got a little bit of a purple undertone. It's very cool toned. I'm gonna start with that one. That's another one that really drew me in. And from what I've seen from reviews, these shadows are very pigmented, so you don't need a lot. That's a really pretty shade. It's got like the slightest bit of purple to it. Love that. Oh my god, did you guys watch Game of Thrones? Holy shit. That was the most amazing episode, and I was just talking about this yesterday. Like, battle scenes usually aren't my thing, but the way of Game of Thrones does battle scenes, like the Battle of the Bastards was one of my favorite episodes. This one, I think it was the best yet. the whole time. Like, if I wasn't watching it like this, I was watching it like this, and then the rest of the time I was stuffing my face. I was so like stress eating during the episode. It was so good. It was so good. I cannot believe there's only 3 left. I'm scared for everyone. I'm gonna add a little bit of this pinkish white matte shade next. But you know, don't leave any spoilers for Game of Thrones down below, because those people suck. People who post spoilers. I am so salty today because tonight we are going to see Endgame. And I think I've said this before in a video, or probably a Get Ready With Me. I'm not usually into action kind of movies. I love Dark Knight and the Batman movies. Those are incredible, but for the most part, it's not usually my thing. And then last year around, I guess probably around January, February is when Black Panther came out. And I asked George, like, hey, what's up with these movies? What are they all about? And we started watching all the Avengers movies from the beginning. And I just became like completely enthralled with them. I love these movies. I looked forward to watching them with him. It just became like a really nice routine for us. Obviously, it's a lot of watching. I think it's like 40 some hours right now. And we went to see Infinity War in the theaters, and it was incredible. So I've been looking forward to this movie for a while, for a good while. And then there's some people out there who have been looking forward to it for a decade. And of course, I've been avoiding like anything that says Endgame or Avengers. I've just been like scrolling through basically. And last night I wasn't really thinking, scrolling down, someone posted a major, I don't even want to say what it was. It was a major plot thing, a huge thing, and I am so mad. I am so mad. I can't imagine if I was one of those people who have been waiting for this for a decade and then to have someone ruin it for you in like a minute. That is the fucking worst. I like was cursing up a storm. I always try to censor myself here on YouTube, but when I'm mad, I just go off. I'm gonna use this hot pink shade next. I don't know, it just really grinds my gears. It really gets me. It's so inconsiderate. And it's not like it's been a month. It's been 4 days since it came out. And a lot of us still haven't seen it. So, I don't know. I was so mad. I was so angry. I just saw red. And I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but like I said, that's like 40 hours of my life I have invested into this, and it's only been a year. I can't imagine if I was one of those people who have been waiting for it for that long. A lot of people seemed really mad at this person. Not cool. Don't be that person. Okay, that's got a lot of pigment to it. I like barely touched my lid. Oh, that's good. And I'm just gonna bring it up a little bit. A lot of pigment in that one. I'm gonna blend that out in just a second. I think I'm gonna do like a little halo cut crease. I've really been liking these brushes from Spectrum. I used them in my last video. I think it was Perfect Subscriber Tag. I think that's when I used these, and I've really been liking them. I'm like barely having to put my brush down. I'm really glad I went with this palette so far. I looked at some reviews. Like I said, Editorial was the other one I was thinking of, and that one had like a really cool dusty, sagey green kind of color. At least that's what it looked like online. And then I watched some reviews, and that one didn't seem to perform so well. So I'm glad I got this one. As far as what else I've been watching, I've taken a little break from Supernatural. I don't know. So I'm on season 6. I just started it in January, so I never watched it before. And season 4 and 5 were so amazing, and 6 has just kind of been really hard for me to get through. And I don't know if it's also just because I watched so much of it in such a short span of time that I need to take a little bit of a break. So now I'm watching Riverdale. It's so good. I thought it was going to be for like a different age bracket. I thought it was definitely like a show for teenagers, and maybe it is, but I've loved it so much. The only thing is they leave every episode on a cliffhanger. So I'm constantly like, one more, And then it's 2 a.m. and I'm like, no, one more. I can't watch any more of this. Keeps me up all night. But it is really good. And there's a lot of crossover of, like, Barb from Stranger Things is on it. There's a kid from 13 Reasons Why that's on it. It's really good. Highly recommend it if you like suspense and crime kind of shows. And I'm just gonna blend that in a little bit. And I did actually set my concealer today. I don't always do that. On my eyes. I don't always do that, but I'm trying to get through some setting powder right now. So I can imagine without being set and just the concealer as a base, this would probably pop even more. Then to cut my crease, I'm going to use the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. This is in the shade Fair 06. This is a little bit too light for me underneath my eyes, so I usually will mix it with another concealer, or I'll just use it on my lids. Sorry, I cannot talk and do this at the same time. So I think I'm going to use first this purpley shade, shimmery kind of shade, and then I'm going to go to this one, which is a little bit more like mauve-y pink. And I'm just going to use my finger. I'm not going to do wet. And I'm just going to lay it down over that matte pink shade. My nose always gets in the way for this part. Anybody else out there with a little bit larger of a nose? It's like hard to get in there. And then for the mauve shade, putting that in the center. Just realized I have highlighter all over my hand. I just cleaned up the bottom portion with a makeup wipe, but I think what I want to do is use that glittery sparkly black as my liner. And then this is a Sigma E15, the flat definer brush. I just wet it a little bit and just getting really close to the lash line. I didn't do a wing or anything, I wanted to add some definition, but I am just going to smudge it out just a little bit on the end. Nothing yet, guys. I'm still checking for that Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I don't think it's going to come in time, so I'm pretty sure I used every shade in the palette, which is really cool. Of course, I will do my under eye later on. I'm going to start with my base. I don't have anything new here except for concealer. So for my primer, I'm going to use the Tarte Smoothing Primer. I've been obsessed with this. It actually really does help to cover pores. And then the Milk Hydro Grip. I really like this for my forehead where I tend to get a little bit patchy and the foundation really starts to cling. So this has been great. And then for my foundation, I'm going to use Too Faced Born This Way. Oh, I forgot. I have this I want to try. This is the Makeupdrop Hybrid Sponge. I love my Real Techniques. That's what I use all the time. This one's pricey. I think it's $20, but I got it off the FabFitFun Edits shop. I want to say it was $7 or $9. That's why I decided to try it. So I'm just going to wet this real quick. Okay, this feels weird. This is the silicone side and it's hard. So this side is made to be able to like spread your cream products, like your foundations. I thought I had something on my hand. Your foundations and bronzers, contour, whatnot, and then you have your typical sponge side. So I'm gonna wet it and see what it feels like after that. So while waiting to see if this guy was a grower or a shower, I decided to add some lashes. This is in the style Boudoir Light. I have tried the House of Lashes Boudoir and they're a lot. I like these because they're not taking away too much from the eye look, and I got both on in one try, which is very rare for me. I usually at least struggle with one of them, so I like the band on these too. This hasn't expanded a ton. I saw a video and someone else's was huge, like my Real Techniques, and this hasn't done that, so we'll see after I put my primer on. Use the Hydro Grip first, just a little bit. The first time I used this, I definitely used way too much. I'm just going to use it on my forehead and my cheeks. I have a lot of congestion right now, maybe a little bit more. I had said that I'm using Lush Skincare for a month. That video is coming on Saturday, just like my results. So you guys will see why that congestion is happening. Okay, and then the Tarte Smoothing Primer. You need the teeniest bit of this. And I'm gonna use that on my nose and in just my areas that tend to crease. I feel really dry today. These lashes were probably a mistake. I guarantee that I will probably cry during Endgame, so we'll see how all this holds up. So Born This Way, and with this sponge, you're supposed to put your cream product, let me shake it up. You're supposed to put your cream product on there, so I'm just gonna do a dot. I don't know which side to use. This definitely feels way more firm than my Real Techniques. My skin does not look good right now. Let's try spreading it. That's a lot. I thought maybe I could like paint it on. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. I feel like it's just covering less area and it hasn't like fully expanded yet, so oh no. I have black eyeshadow on my drop. Okay, that's my fail of the day. Let's get a clean sponge. Throw that back there. When I say clean sponge, I mean a dirty sponge that doesn't have black eyeshadow all over it. You guys will probably see this video on Wednesday. I know, so I feel like I've kind of gotten out of the habit. I used to always say my posts were gonna be on Tuesdays and on Saturdays. I used to try to do 3 times a week uploading, and it was just too much. So I went to 2, and still sometimes, like last week, I know I didn't have a Saturday video. It was just like a crazy week last week. It's kind of like a catch-22. I think I'm gonna just kind of start posting whenever, at least 2 times a week. I want to try to get to 3 sometimes a week too. I just find it stresses me out trying to get a video up by a certain time. Like I like having a schedule, so it is helpful in some ways, like for me to be able to plan when I can film and edit. But I'm just kind of in this place where I want to post when I want to post. I mean, it's just a hobby for me. It's not like I'm getting paid or anything else. I don't have sponsorships or anything. It's just for fun. It's just for me, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And I want to make content that I enjoy making and that hopefully you guys enjoy watching. And I feel like by having like that set deadline and time or whatever, it just stresses me out in a way that's unnecessary, because this is just a hobby and it is just for fun for me. So let me know what you guys think. Do you care? Do you like when people post on specific days? Does it matter to you? Just going forward, I think that's just kind of what I'm aiming for. And then there's sometimes too where like I have a video done early, like my Saturday video usually is done by Thursday. Like, why can't I post it then? I want to post it then. So I think going forward, that's what I'm going to do. I hope you guys don't mind. If you do, let me know down below in a nice way. But I want the feedback. I'd love to know. My skin is so sensitive sometimes, like to touch, not to product usually, but just by like bouncing on my neck, I have what looks like a rash. It'll go away soon. I really like this foundation. I tried this during subscribers' favorites, never tried it before. And it looks just, I feel like it just looks really natural. You can still see my skin. You can still see some of that texture, unfortunately, but it doesn't look like I have caked up makeup on. I'm really curious in the summer to see how it performs once I get sweaty. Something I hate about my skin is, like, my body doesn't really sweat, but my face does like crazy. My nose especially. And then for my concealer, I have from Milk the Flex Concealer. I did already test this out because when I looked at it in the tube, I was like, oh, that's going to be way too yellow for me. But I think it actually looked okay. So this has been on my wish list forever. I feel like I always say this, but this was literally the third thing from the bottom. So it's been on there for a long time. And I have like 60 things on my wish list. It looks so much lighter once you put it on. It has kind of a weird smell. It reminds me of something. It's a little bit chemical, but like also fruity at the same time. I don't know if there's an added fragrance or that just happened to be like what's in it. It smells like that. This is supposed to be full coverage. I'm not going to put any on my forehead, which I usually would just because I have redness there, but I can already tell under my eyes it looks a little bit dry. I think I am going to set just my under eyes with the Hourglass powder. That stuff usually like performs a miracle for me, so hopefully it does this time. Yeah, I think my under eyes look dry. I'm going to set with that powder, and I'm going to be really careful with this because I'm using cream for my contour shade, so I don't want that to interfere with it, make it funky. I'm setting my little crease line. It's going to crease anyway, but I try. And then just under the eyes a little bit. Okay, so for my contour, I've used this once already. Again, I keep it in the box. I always keep everything in the box. This is the Amber Matchsticks from Fenty Beauty. That's what it looks like. I believe these are magnetic. This is the first one I've owned, but I think that's pretty cool. You guys know I don't really do a lot of contour. I more do bronzer. Just gonna start with a little bit there. Kind of want to give this a go again. No, it's not expanding. I don't know why. Let's try this one. I don't know if I just didn't use enough water, but it's not doing it for me. And then before I get into my brows, I'm just going to add a little bit of powder. And I'll kick that away later. If you guys are looking for a good setting powder, this is the one, the Hourglass one, that I would really recommend to pick up during the SEPHORA VIB, just because it is pricey, but it is a wonderful powder. Okay, brows. If you've watched my videos or any of my favorites videos, you know how much I love the Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel. I use it in like every video. They just came out with 5 new shades, one of them being like a red auburn kind of color, and it is called Dub. I usually wear a Dutch, which is like a medium brown. I'm so excited. Right now my hair has a little bit of like a purple undertone to it, if you can see that. It's because I am solely using overtone to try to keep my color somewhat looking vibrant. You can see I have a lot of growth. My hair is getting done tomorrow, so very soon. Let's see what this shade looks like. Just swatched. It definitely has a red, warm kind of undertone to it. I was hoping they would come out with this. So with these, the way I've been doing it, I saw Jay Kissa do this, I believe. She kind of back combs first in her brow just to get everything covered. And then actually put them in the direction you want them to go. This one's definitely lighter than Dutch. I think it would actually be cool to use this maybe more in the front and Dutch in the back. So as far as the formula and brush, it definitely feels the same, but I do really like the shade. It's red, but not too red. So depending on my hair color, if it's leaning more pink or more purple, whatever overtone I'm using, I still think I can get away with it. So I really like this so far. I'm really glad they expanded the shade range. For the under eye, I'm gonna use the pink shade here with a little bit of that matte brownish purpley shade. And then the shade that I used up here, I'm gonna put in my inner corner. And then I'm gonna add some black liner. I have the nude and the black from Milk Makeup. I think I'm gonna do the black today though. This liner is so good. Like, it doesn't stay all day like super rich black, but better than any other ones I've tried recently. It's really good. And then for bottom lash, I have from Colourpop, this is the white mascara. It says Catch Me If You Can, that's cute. I haven't tried this yet. I have from Marc Jacobs, this is a purple mascara. It is a Violet Incredible Omega Lash Mascara. I haven't used this in a long time. I kind of always forget about it. I don't think they actually make it anymore, or else like it's not on Sephora's website anymore, but I have this hanging around. So I'm gonna use that on my lower lash line. It's a little bit dried out. It definitely makes it more intense. I know you guys aren't going to be able to see it. Okay, it's fine, whatever. I just kind of wish I would have done black, but I got to use a product I haven't used in a while. So for blush, I have from Hourglass. Oh, these blushes are so pretty. This one is called Luminous Flush. I went back and forth between a couple different ones. I also have Mood Exposure, and then I also have the Ambient Edit Volume 4. The blushes, these blushes are incredibly beautiful. They look like nothing in the pan. So this one's like a rosy pink champagne, but when you put them on the cheeks, they are so beautiful. So I'm so excited to try this one. These blushes just give like the healthiest glow, and they don't quite have shimmer in them. They just have some glowy face magic kind of thing. Oh, I love them. I have a lot of texture coming through. My skin already look like that. That's not the blush's fault. I can definitely see myself picking one of these up with every Sephora sale they do, and then getting the palettes like in the winter time when they do the limited edition palette, just because they're so pretty, but they are so pricey. This one's $40. Okay, she went heavy with the blush, so I'm going to blend that in a little bit. Still looks really pretty though. It's just like such like a healthy glow kind of look. And then highlight, surprise, surprise, I have Pillow Talk from Ofra. This is my favorite highlighter, especially when I do any kind of pink or purple look. I feel like it's all I ever use on my channel, but I love it so much. Put something black there. I had the strangest dream last night. Do you guys ever have those dreams where you don't really remember what it was about, but you wake up knowing it was weird, and then like later on in the day your memory starts to come back a little bit? Having one of those, I have the worst dreams all the time. Like I would say I always have nightmares. Like I never have pleasant dreams. There's always something horrible happening, like I'm being chased. Someone could probably tell me why I always have those kinds of dreams. I have the weirdest dreams. Like I have died in my dreams twice. I know that's not supposed to be possible. I both have watched myself die, and then I have also been through my eyes while it's happened. That's been a long time since that's happened, but it's pretty scary. Has that happened to anybody else? I'm gonna grab my lip products real quick. I have from NYX, this is the Vanilla Sky Retractable Lip Liner, and then from Stila, I have the new Beauty Boss Lip Gloss. I got this from Ulta though a couple weeks back. Haven't tried it yet though. This is in the shade Pink Slip. My most terrifying dream I've ever had though, aside from dying, I just think it's so interesting, dreams in general, and then like what the meaning of them is. I always look up my dreams, but the most terrifying one I've had, I'm just gonna set it up because I don't want to spoil what happened at the end. My worst dreams are when I fell asleep in the same position I'm in. So I'm dreaming like I'm in that same place, so it feels really realistic. And in this dream, I was in bed. My dog was next to me, and so was my husband. So like we would have already been sleeping, and you know what's coming. My my tooth felt loose, and I did a little wiggle, and if I somehow chopped off the top of that. I did a little wiggle and my tooth came out. So then another one felt loose and I did a little wiggle and it came up. And then I sat up in bed and all of my teeth fell out into my hands. It was the worst dream I've ever had. I'm pretty sure I screamed when I woke up. It was bloody and it was gory. And I looked up I'm about to put this under my eyes. I looked up the meaning of it. And I can't remember. I think it said something like you're holding something in, which is probably true. I probably was at the time. It was for sure the worst dream I have ever had. What about you guys? What are your dreams like? Do you dream? Do you have good dreams? Do you have bad dreams? Do you die? Are you being chased by Jason like me? I always have dreams that some killer is coming after me. It's very golden looking. I don't know if that's quite what I wanted today. Not bad, but I think I also want to add this that I got from Flower Beauty. This is the Spiced Petal Cream Lipstick. I'm going to swatch it first just to make sure. Yeah, I think that's more of what I'm going for today. Oh, that's a pretty color. And then a little bit of this lip gloss. I was going back and forth. Some of them looked really opaque, like they had a lot of color in them. There was a purpley one that was cool looking. Oh, this is like blue sparklies in it. It's like vanilla raspberry. I think it's the blue though that's kind of making me think raspberry. And then I am going to set with 2 setting sprays. I have my Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray, and then I also have Chill from Urban Decay just because I need this to last through the day, through my movie, 3.5 hours long. I think it's 3 or 3.5 hours long. I am not going to be able to drink anything before I go. I have a very small baby bladder in case you wanted to know that. While that's drying, I almost forgot. I also have from Sol de Janeiro the Glow Motions Rio Sunset Glow Oil. I really wanted the Patrick Ta one. Everyone's talking about that and how it smells, and I really just wanted to smell it, but that one's $65. It is also larger than this one, but I know myself and I know I won't use a ton of this kind of product. So that's what this one looks like. It has like a champagne shimmer to it. And this one I think was $35. And I knew I would love this scent. It's actually pretty big. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. Okay, that's too much. It smells exactly like the Boom Boom cream. And it's shimmery. And even for, it's like kind of a thin formula, but it's not dripping all over my hand. I got way too much, but I'm going to just put a little bit on my décolleté area. I'm so mad I took so much out. I'm gonna have to put this on my legs when I'm done filming. See how red I look already? That's just my skin. And then it does just twist back up. So if this is anything like the Boom Boom cream, I know that when I go outside or when I'm in the sun, it will be really pretty and shimmery. I know you can't see it now, but that's the whole makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I liked everything I tried. The blush is gorgeous. I like the lip gloss that I tried. Brow product I'm really happy about. I'm so excited about them expanding that shade range there. Palette was really cool. I like the lashes. I didn't really have too much difficulty other than the fact that my skin doesn't look its best right now. So I know my foundation didn't lay down as well as I would usually like it to. And I do think the concealer ended up being a pretty good match. So let me know below what you guys picked up during the sale or what you want to pick up during the sale. There's a few more days. I'm trying to have some restraint and not go back on there. I cannot do it. I just have to keep repeating that to myself. Anyway, I thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon.